Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Here we are with Bitcoin just hovering up there in that $115,000 to $120,000 range. And yet there are people out there that are losing their minds because we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. But let's just recontextualize what that means. Price action is pulled back to $116,000, $115,000. Ethereum, as you can see over my shoulder, sitting over $3,000. The market is looking like it is in a perfect bull structure and just screaming for that continuation. What I'm talking about is this right here. Understanding that when you're looking at price action on any asset, you're looking for this type of setup. You want to see the rise, the retrace, looking for dip buying opportunities, and then the continuation. In this case, I do believe that we are going to get this continuation beyond any metric I've ever looked at, because the on-chain data, because the community, because the landscape, because the context, because the crypto administration that's in power right now. And we're in the middle of crypto week, and people are wondering right now, did Bitcoin just top? No, Bitcoin did not just top. We may have had a local top, which means on a medium to small time frame. And this actually, look at where it reversed, right at the target range that we outlined from this bull flag right here, came right into it. And we're getting a little bit of a reversal. And this is exactly what you want to see. This is what you are screaming for as a trader or as a very adept investor when you see price action going to targets, seeing the landscape only getting more bullish, and you get yet another opportunity for price to pull back into zones that we have had outlined on here on the BitLab Academy, on Discover Crypto, on Blockchain Basement, talking about these potential moves to the downside, which are not the end of the world. In fact, they're the start of another trade or another profit opportunity if you're willing to buy the fear in the market to then rise this to new profit levels on and upward to the upside. So everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the vibes. If this is your first time here, I can guarantee you it's not going to be your last time. My name's Kellam. Welcome to the BitLab Academy stream. I do want to shout out our channel partners, BitcoinIRA.com, and of course, GetArculus.com. Use code BitLab20 for the best crypto cold storage solution that you can get to make sure that you are protecting your crypto, making sure you are protecting your future. You get one of these amazing cards. Doesn't matter if you lose a card, doesn't matter if you lose your phone, because it takes multiple different forms of identification, from the card to the phone to your biometrics to your PIN code. And so I can give you my crypto cold storage card right now and you wouldn't be able to access it. So this, honestly, I think is the best crypto cold storage solution out there. And I really behoove all of you to head over to getarculus.com. Again, G-E-T Arculus, A-R-C-U-L-U-S, getarculus.com. Use code BitLab20 for 20% off your best crypto cold storage solution that you can get. And you can see, I mean, it's just great solution. And of course, BitcoinIRA.com. You can call this number 1-877-936-7175 to day trade on a tax-deferred status in your IRA. This is what it's all about, to do it smart, to do it in a way that you can protect your profits in the most meaningful way possible. Head over to BitcoinIRA.com or call 1-877-936-7175. Let them know Kellam sent you from the BitLab Academy, and we'll make sure that you get set up so you can protect your future on the monetary basis as well. But we got to dive in here because we got some amazing things that have brewed in the last few days, with the Bitcoin price pushing up over $123,000, Ethereum, pushing above 3,000 and also holding. The altcoin market looking like it's starting to wake up a bit, and the crypto market cap actually made a new all-time high yesterday. When we're looking at this right here, this is the total market cap of everything. This pushed up into the let me see. It pushed up, I can't see the exact high here, but it was about almost 3.8 trillion. Previous top being about 3.72 trillion. Excuse me there. But this is what we're seeing. We're seeing the market wake up in a real way. And when we look at this, when we peek at the total 3 here and we realize, look at this beautiful breakout, not only here with the rise, retrace, and look, we're getting the start of that continuation. We want to see some volume follow through. We want to see some other things follow through in this market. But right now we're seeing crypto weak. We're seeing legislation being passed in a way that is clearing the path forward for the bulls, taking the wind out of the sails of the bears. And yet people are worried here when you're looking at Bitcoin pulling back. And then when you zoom out, you realize, is that really a pullback? Is that a pullback? Because what I'm seeing is the start of a breakout of a multi-year time frame all the way back here to 2021, from this top to this top, all the way up to these two tops to this top, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas respecting this trend line with a couple deviations there, bull traps. But then now we have broken out of this effectively. It would not surprise me just on this specific chart alone to see the price action pull back all the way down here into the 111, 112, because we have this horizontal Fibonacci extension right here. And we also have this rising level of previous resistance that now we have yet to flip to support. So anywhere in this zone on this chart, you're going to see different levels based on different charts, which is why you want to have your chart set up with, you see on my right side here, how many different Bitcoin charts I have. This one, I got this one here. I've got this one here. They're all basically outlining slightly different looks at what I'm seeing. And when we're looking at this, this is a very clear area that would make sense for price to come back between 111 and 113. Now, is that substantiated? Well, I'm going to show you exactly why it is here in a few, because it's not just the lines on these charts. There's other key data that we need to look at. We need to realize a move from $123,000 down into 113 to 111 does not mean the bull market is topped. This means we are doing something that you regularly see on any asset that has ever existed that is traded, which is a bull trend consists of a rise, retrace, continuation. So we got the rise here. And of course, we had a couple of rise, retrace, continuation. But on this midterm time frame, we've got the rise. This bull pennant breakout went right to the target. It reversed, much like we could have expected. And then now we're getting the retrace. This does not constitute that the Bitcoin and crypto market has topped. In fact, it means the opposite. It means we're seeing incredibly strong bullish structure. So what we're looking for here is potential. These are not exact, potential targets down here, 1 and 2. And this, I mean, you see these charts. This is not like we were just looking at this one here where we were, where's it at? Where we're looking right here with these two lines here with the fib extension, 113, and then the top here, this sort of horizontal line that we have here, 111. When we come back over here and look, this is actually based on where this little peak is and where this chop zone peak is as well. And this also outlines the same areas. So if the price actually pulls back into these zones, 1, we're prepared. 2, we have a strategy. And 3, we are set up to take much larger profits if we're able to buy these dips and ride this up. The alternative to this is you don't have to buy the dip. The alternative to this is understanding that this may retrace, and maybe just knowing that this is likely will give you the confidence to hold without selling in fear, to be able to ride this out before we get that continuation higher. The forward-looking landscape of what we're seeing in the crypto market has never been as bullish as it is right now. So knowing that we had a target that was hit, knowing we're getting a retrace, which is part of a normal structure of a rise, retrace, continuation, identifying the levels of which we can either buy the dip or just hold firm, allows us to navigate this rather than being navigated in this market, which is what so many people do, which is why so many people lose trading and investing in markets, because they think they're smarter and they don't realize they're being hijacked by their emotionality of the moment versus the strategy to navigate the other people's emotionality. That's what this is all about, everybody. But shout out to everybody that's tuned in here. Again, my name's Kellam. This is your first time here. I can guarantee you it's not going to be your last. Welcome to the BitLab Academy. Also, shout out again to our channel partners, BitcoinIRA.com, and of course, Arculus, best crypto cold storage solution there is. GetArculus.com. Use code BitLab20, BITLAB20 for 20% off your best crypto cold storage solution. So you can protect your crypto, so you can protect your future. Now let's get into it because we got some things that came out today. We got some things that came out today. And what does it mean for the markets? Well, first off, we've got this. Discover Crypto shared this, and this was the data that came out this morning. The year over year, that's what YOY means. The year over year CPI, consumer price inflation, is 2.7%. But that's okay because that's also what was projected to be expected. But then we also have core CPI, which kind of narrows the scope a bit. The core CPI is 2.9%. That's higher, right? Well, it's lower than expected, furthering that argument that Trump has been making regarding the Fed cutting interest rates. Some would argue, though, why would they cut if the economy is doing so well, if the stock market is performing as it is? But we're also getting these backdoor, other side room issues with what we're seeing with the cost of the potential delinquencies and bankruptcies with commercial real estate and other areas. Also trouble in the bond market. So it's a very precarious time right now. So not only are we seeing the CPI coming in as expected, the core CPI coming in under expectation, but what does it really look like? This is what it really looks like. Everybody says it's 2.9, 2.7, and every one of you has looked at the price of paying for the random stuff. Medical care is up 12% in the last 5 years. New cars up 21%. Food at home is up 23%, shelter 27%, food away from home 30%, used cars 34%. Do you see a 2% or a 3%? Of course, this is aggregated over 5 years, but these do not fall in line with what they're telling us. This is why I'm so adamant about looking at Bitcoin, taking Bitcoin as an opportunity, because this is a hedge against all those bad government policies, all the money spending, all, what's going on with inflation, the devaluing of don't think about it like the dollar. It's the devaluing of the hours that you've spent in the past to work and save. Now that money isn't worth as much. Therefore, the amount of money you got paid back in time that you saved, it's worth less. So therefore, you got paid less per hour every time they printed a dollar. They've printed more than 80% of every dollar that ever existed in the last 5 or 6 years. And we just got a new bill that is calling for another $4 to $5 trillion added to the debt. And that's not including the next 2 or 3 bills that they also already have in the pipeline. So Bitcoin, crypto, digital assets, stable coins, this is the new world. So when we're looking at the price action and we see this, oh my God, Bitcoin's all the way up here, this is too high. Well, these are the targets, everybody. 158, 213, 265, somewhere in this. And this, again, is not going to be the top. This is going to be a price point at which we're going to get a little bit of a reversal, likely. That comes back, gives us another amazing buying opportunity before the next incredible leg up, because this is going to be going up for the rest of our lifetime. We're going to be seeing cycles with moves on the price action, as we've seen historically, with these massive moves to the upside. And everybody said, oh, Bitcoin died. Well, there's the low. The low here is $3,500. What was the previous low? About $200. Okay, 3,500. Okay, let's see what the next low is. Up here, 15,000. What's the next low going to be? Is it going to be in the 40s? Is it going to be in the 70s? Is it going to be in the hundreds? We have to see how this cycle plays out. But we see over my shoulder, Ondo's pumping up, Ethereum's pumping up. Chainlink is setting up for the most monster move of its life, okay, with how many integrations that they've been able to deploy, partnerships, different ways that they're interacting and engaging with a number of different blockchains across the crypto ecosystem, as well as how many integrations they're doing with Web 2, stuff that's outside of blockchain, connecting them into the whole new world. So we got to make sure we are paying attention and not falling victim to, a little bit of a move to the downside. Because when we're looking at everything in the market and we realize that as we look at this right now, this is a total 3. Everything other than Bitcoin and ETH. And we've seen these monster moves, a little consolidation down, This was a COVID crisis here, and then we got a little bit of a bull flag here. But from this breakout point, we saw, look at that, 877% move. This is, of course, an index across all crypto outside of Bitcoin and ETH. Now, we have not gotten this type of move yet. Will we get it? I still think we will, especially with how much of the world is moving. I mean, the entire world is moving into blockchain. And we've seen only a more substantiated case of that with the new acts and bills that they've gone through Congress and the Senate and the laws that are coming into place regarding the Genius Act, the Clarity Act, the Market Structure Act. And people are worried here. The best is yet to come. The fact that we've already got a bit of a breakout here, could we get a little bit of a dip? Sure. But when we understand the landscape of where this is all going, I hope that all of you would celebrate a dip here before the entire market runs away. Guys, gals, friends, countrymen, remember, rise, retrace, continuation is the nature of every bull market. So let's make sure we are locked in. Shout out to everybody that's in the room. We got 1,500 people here. Big love to each and every one of you. I got to ask you a very special question and a very special favor. Put your hand on your heart. Tell yourself that you're thankful for your life. You're thankful for yourself. You're thankful for your curiosity. You're grateful for your friends. You're grateful for your family. You're grateful for your resilience and stepping outside of the norm, getting involved with educating yourself, even if it's just watching YouTube channels. That's okay. If you're spending time growing, then you are moving forward. That's what this is about. And I hope that I can inspire you to take into account the actions and the steps that you're taking. Be grateful. Forgive yourself for errors in the past. Forgive others. Usually when people do stuff that hurt you, they're not doing it to hurt you. They're doing it because there's some other benefit they're getting. And our ego goes, he hurt me. No, he didn't. He's doing something that benefited himself or herself in another way. Let's navigate this world. Let's stop being so damn emotional. Let's figure out pragmatically how we can take our future into our own hands. That's what this is about. It's not just trading. Trading is just another lens onto all of these things that we deal with in the real world. Because getting back to the charts, what do we see? We see the short-term holder cost basis has hit a new all-time high. It's up here at over $101,600. And, you know, have we had deviations below? This is the short-term holder cost basis here. Have we had deviations below? Yes. Have we had deviations below? Yes. Have we had support and a small deviation below? I mean, look at the support that we've seen into these zones. So my point here is this. Short-term holder cost basis is at 101,626. Therefore, even with price moving down $15,000, we would still be in an incredibly bullish structure. Understanding these types of things before the emotional moment happens, AKA, you know, something comes out in the news, Trump does something, Xi Jinping does something, there's a geopolitical conflict, whatever people want to say is a reason for a market dump. When you understand the data and the technical landscape, you can already be prepared to, one, not be emotionally triggered, but two, also already have an action plan. That's what this is about. Warpaint says attitude is gratitude. That's right. Let's all have an attitude of gratitude. And shout out to everyone. We got Pre-Rich, Granny's Garden, Dylan K, Objectively Real, Dingo Booty, David Middleton, Granny's Garden, Stevie Crypto 6. We got the whole crew here. Shout out. If you're watching on X, which there's a lot of you that are, drop something in the live chat. Just expand. You'll see on the bottom right, there's a live chat. I see it all right here. And shout out to those of you that are watching on Rumble. We had 50,000 people tune into our Rumble stream yesterday. So big love to the Rumble team as well. They got we're doing a lot of stuff with them with the partnership with Hit Network. So shout out to them there. Now the question is, does it matter that the short-term holder cost basis is now hitting an all-time high? $101,000. One, this gives us a great barrier, a great understanding on a technical level that anywhere with the price action moving down from 123 to 111, oh my God, it's over 105. Oh my God, 101,000. I knew that was the top. We've seen this before. We've been there before, and we have a strategy to deploy to do this. Because why? This is a very strong bull trend. The fundamentals and the forward-looking landscape are the most bullish in history. The corporations are stacking and it's only gone exponential. It's only going to increase over the next few years. We also see government stacking and more are lining up to, in addition to mining. In fact, Fort Worth just announced that they're actually actively Bitcoin mining as well. So I do think we're in the middle of a super bull market and an extended bull market right now. We are in the middle of it, higher, much higher. So this is looking beautiful. Now, again, if the price action breaches down below $101,000, we know we've seen this happen before. We've seen this happen before. We've seen this happen before. When the landscape is so bullish, take advantage of the opportunities that they present out of strategy, not out of fear or hope. We have got the data here. So let's continue on because we are looking beautiful. Fear and greed index, 73. But that means we're about to get extreme fear and it's going to extreme hope, right? This means it's going to sell. Well, let's understand where we're at in the bull trend because you see this bright green metric. Notice this parabola, all bright green. Notice this got bright green up into the top, got bright green up into the top. But this is the area that we're looking for right here. We have not even got into that bright green yet. We're just under it. We're right in this color zone right here. And, I think we've got some monster moves to make, and I think there's going to be some monster shakeouts to the downside. We might even have a buy target for a retrace, and oh my God, it blows right past it. It goes further down than you expect. The market remains irrational longer than most can remain solvent. So have technical levels you're looking at, but don't be tied to exact numbers. Look for regions because we have this part of the cycle. The best is yet to come. We're still in a very healthy portion of the market. We're not in extreme greed. We haven't gotten into that yet, but we're seeing the signs and signals that there's so much higher to come. In fact, we also see long-term holders are buying up massive amounts of Bitcoin. Well, does it matter if the long-term holders actually reverse and start selling? Well, yeah, but does it mean the bull market's over? Well, here's the long-term holders here. Look at this massive decline. Look at this massive decline. Look at the price action. Massive move to the upside. This is also signaled by when retail really starts to enter. Long-term holders that are bought much lower, whether it's down here or many years ago, they take profits into the strength of the really strong bull trend where you're getting a lot of retail influx. So this was a massive decline, but the price also fell. But what do you see right here? Massive decline, price action moons to the upside. Massive decline, price action goes to the downside. So it's not a one-to-one correlation that if this starts to drop, the price actions can go parabolic. It all depends on the ingredients of the context of this entire market and what's going on, what the geopolitics are, what people are seeing on a risk basis in just broader markets in general. Because institutions, corporations, Wall Street is now a major player within the crypto ecosystem. So all these things are going to be important. By the way, you should definitely go and follow Quentin at Quentin Francois, a friend of mine, and also great. He's been in the space forever. Also has a book out over in Brussels, I believe. But he's always great content here. But we have seen an exponential number of whales and long-term holders stacking in at these levels, which is freaking phenomenal. But what does the other data say? Well, Bitcoin is not in euphoria yet, but that might change soon. Historically, when this indicator turned green, as we see right here from red to green, a positive gap, Bitcoin entered a parabolic rally, often driven by leverage and FOMO in derivatives. So this is a perpetual versus spot price gap. What the hell are you talking about, Kelly? Spot means when you go on Coinbase and you say, I have $100, give me $100 worth of Bitcoin. That's spot. Perpetual, that's talking about leverage, perpetual futures. Let's say you have $100 and you want to trade 1,000 and you're trading $100 on 10x leverage. That's perpetual. And so when you're looking at, for instance, when we come over here on the charts, this is CME futures. We're going to look at this. Watch, look, here is Bitstamp. This is spot. Now, but we can also go to this. We can do BTC, USD, .p. There we go. So this Bybit, this is a perpetual. So this is 16,580. Let's see what it just was on Bitstamp. Okay, 16,500. So there's a little bit of a difference in the price on the futures versus the spot on the perpetual futures. So essentially, you don't need to go too deep on this. Essentially, what this is showing is when you start getting this big separation because there's a ton of money flowing in and it's driving the price action more quickly on perpetuals versus spot, it's also very correlated to very strong price action moves to the upside because people are FOMOing into the market. Look at the negative zone here. We have not gotten into that excessive gap yet. We're not in euphoria. So when we come back over here and we realize that this, one, we haven't topped, and two, this could come down here and bounce into these zones. It could come down further. As I said, I could come down to 103, 105, 108. We have to see how this plays out because the market is so risk appetite, but also risk averse because the market structure, although this time is different, keeps continually being disproven. We have issues in Japan. We have issues in China. We have issues in the US. We have all these tariffs and trade war, this and that. The bond market. Nobody really knows what the hell is going on. It's almost like everybody's like, you know what? They're going to print more dollars. So everybody's like, screw the risk matrix. Let's just throw money into investments. Let's just ride this because now you just told us you're going to print more money. We know rate cuts are coming, so let's take advantage of it. And because of that, you get a frothy sort of excitement and fear at the same time, which means we very likely can see some bigger swings in the market. And if we're aware of this, then we can prevent ourselves from getting trapped in it. So what else we got? We also got the Bitcoin exchange net flow analysis, profit-taking spikes after $123,000. Oh my God, it's over, guys. It's over. Some people took some profits. They weren't in this just to take screenshots. Some people took some profits. It's over. No, guys. The world is only just waking up to this asset class. While there's other people who have been in this asset class for 7 years, 10 years, 14 years. And it makes sense. $123,000. If you're tens of thousands of percent in profit, take some profit. It's okay. You can take profit or borrow against your Bitcoin. You can navigate this market, profits and everything based on what you need for your life, and other people will too. So the fact that people took some profits at $123,000 is not shocking. This kind of movement is typically suggests a local top and could lead to a healthy correction or consolidation in the coming days. So we've talked about it. We've already got the chart lined up for some levels down here. If it goes below those, great. I will welcome it. I will welcome it. So because we got some data that suggests okay, we just made a monster move. Let's cool off a little bit. Let's put some water on our neck. Let's get somebody rub our shoulders. Let's tape our ankles so we can run further up the mountain. So what else we got? We got other data, and we're going to jump into some TA here in a moment. And then I talked about China, the issues they've been having. And well, they just printed $700 billion. Look at this, bam, massive move. This is going to inevitably drive up the global liquidity. And the global liquidity always front runs the major moves higher in investment, in the investment asset class, Bitcoin especially. So this is insane. This is incredible. It's terrible for the value of the yuan for people in China. Global liquidity increasing also makes everything more expensive. But for those of us that are aware of this, and I try to talk to everybody possible, if we are in investments that can capture this inflation, then we actually save ourselves. And if you want to do it in an asset that's going to be the most valuable, I'm going to show you why it's Bitcoin here in just a moment. Because we also got China about to launch its own yuan-backed stablecoin. They are moving into crypto in a real way. Shanghai officials just held a meeting to support the move following Hong Kong's new crypto laws. So the RWA momentum continues. Stablecoins, crypto integration, blockchain, the world is here, and you're worried about a few percentage points pullback. Jump at this opportunity while you still can. We're going to be laughing about a dip from 123 to 115 when prices $1.5 million, $3 million a coin, when some of your alts have just completely changed your life and your future. We need to be welcoming of dips here because everything is suggesting higher prices. There's going to be chop along the way. And those that are the most deserving, AKA have the best strategy, they're not emotionally triggered, will reap the biggest benefits because this is where we're at. Look at this, 4.7% Bitcoin adoption. This is the internet adoption right here. Look at this rate of adoption, this slow burn to the upside, and it just melts up. This is basically on a very similar trajectory, although a bit faster, but we are on the move considering what Bitcoin's price will do when we go all the way up here to 10%, to 20%, to 30%, to 40%, to 50% adoption. We're so early, and people are worried about a pullback from 123 to 116. It just makes me want to laugh because this, let alone all the data about governments, corporations, institutions, just guys, we are in it. We are in it because this is why. There's other investment assets that you could, with the dollar. Let me say this. This is very important. With the dollar's value collapsing and the only guaranteed condition for the dollar or any fiat currency is that it's going to continue to devalue. They're going to continue to print more. We just got a new bill that says they're going to add another $4 to $5 trillion to the debt. There's 2 or 3 more bills coming, and it's not just tied to the U.S. This is every fiat system, the Great British Pound, the Euro, the Chinese Yuan, the Japanese Yen, the U.S. The peso. So why? I mean, you can invest in NVIDIA, you can invest in Apple, you can invest in Bitcoin, but here is the US dollar. Look at Tesla. This is a value. I mean, look at this. Everything falls against Bitcoin. Bitcoin makes everything more affordable is another way to look at that. Holding Bitcoin makes everything else in your life more affordable. The trick here is, though, you have to hold it. You can trade. In fact, I champion all of you that have the courage to do so, but do it with a very small percentage of your portfolio and figure out to make sure that your strategy of trading is all about adding more Bitcoin for long term because everything loses value against Bitcoin. Guys, gals, friends, countrymen, and this is where we're at. Is it still going to go up? Is it still going to go up? Well, you see the previous 2 cycles just arcing to the upside. That parabolic stage, we're kind of at the start, the foothill of this mountain right now. So will it go up? Hell yeah, it's going to go up. And we can see this right here, just the magnet to the upside. We also see the liquidity just trapping us in the 12-hour time frame. But what does it look like on the 2-week time frame? On the 2-week time frame, the liquidation heat map, we've chopped out of all of that momentum, that liquidity above us of people shorting. So now we've got a node down here at 106, 107. So this is why even at 113, 111, there's still a possibility we can go and really wash some people out before we make the move higher. But the higher move is coming. So let's get into it. Let's look at some of these because we've also got Ondo expands tokenized stocks to the BNB chain, giving millions access to U.S. equities on chain. This is incredible because BNB is a monster of a chain, and it's also, the Binance exchange. It's their token. We've been talking about the BNB chain here on this channel kind of briefly over the last couple weeks into the last month or two, because we've seen a huge gain in the active addresses. It's almost like when you look at the on-chain data, it forewarns you that something good or bad is likely brewing to happen. In this case, this is massive. Ondo is now expanding onto the BNB chain. So bravo to those of you stacking into Ondo. And then we can also see this right here. BNB chain will soon support Ondo suite of 100 plus tokenized assets, not just US treasuries. This is absolutely massive. And then we see Chainlink as well, everybody. Chainlink, not only an incredibly strong crypto, the fundamental setup for mega rally is reaching a tipping point. And this is based on a 4 or 5 year constricted symmetrical triangle coming into the apex as we speak. We're just fighting breaking out of that apex. So stack link before the biggest rally it's ever seen pops off. And we also see further data here. Nobody's talking about Chainlink exchange supply is at 2 years low, a 2-year low, while real enterprise adoption is ramping up, especially with the largest global payments network like Swift, or basically the settling house for the stock exchange, DTCC, all utilizing Chainlink, in addition to nearly every crypto that's out there. So when we come back over here and we look at Bitcoin and we go, God, why is it pulling back? To give you another chance if you realize it. because we see the pullback. Great. We know that also beyond that, we do have a CME futures gap. If we zoom in, actually, let me come back over here, go right here. This CME futures gap right here. And that's between the 114 all the way down to about 115 down to 113. And beyond that, I do want you to note, there is a signal on the futures chart that does signal that we do get a swing down here to about 109, 110. What is that? Well, this is on the 4 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour and realize that we got a head and shoulders here. So we got a little bit of a shoulder right here, a little bit of a shoulder, the head, and a little bit of a shoulder, a little Quasimodo looking guy right here, right? But the outcome is the same. We have a bullish impulse up. The bears bring it back. There's a level defined there. We have a very strong bullish impulse. The bears bring it back to the same level. Now, the bulls do not have the same amount of strength. It comes back to the same level as now breaking below it. On these head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders, these are potential short-term reversal patterns, especially when you're looking at the 1 hour chart. We can see that if you want to measure the target, let's delete that, Option T, that gives you a trend line, and you measure that from the top of the head down to basically this neckline, which is where the shoulder right here. So, and then you take this measurement and measure this from that neckline down, and this measures down to about $109,000, $110,000. This would do two things. This isn't bad. When you understand how these markets work, it doesn't frustrate you because, okay, I'm super bullish, but I'm excited about this breakdown now if it happens, because we have the head and shoulders, we have a gap below us, which further indicates it will more likely than not come down. And the crazy thing is there's going to be people with buy orders at the bottom part of this gap. And what this would effectively do is wash, we got in, cool, great buy. And then it washes those people out, liquidates them, comes down to that, basically this zone down here. It may not come all the way down here, let's say, especially with all this chop here, 111 to 112 in this zone, I think would be a great opportunity to set some buys. Now, it doesn't mean don't set buys here. It just means if you're going to set buys here on leverage, make sure you have very, stop losses, because you'll more likely than not get washed out. And you can't also short here on huge leverage because this may not fully happen. You got to be a little bit more adaptable here when we're in an overwhelmingly dominant bull trend that not all the retrace targets are going to fully hit because there's so much strength in the bulls right now. So we see that. We understand that that's there. Let's go ahead and look at some other things. Bitcoin. This is the spot Bitcoin, not on futures. So this also indicates that 114 target. This also, I mean, you see this actually looks different than what we see. Look at the two different shapes we see here. But let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum holding up pretty darn good. In fact, it's holding up so well in the face of Bitcoin having a little bit of trouble at this zone. It's almost like confidence is coming into the alt market, starting with Ethereum. Now, why is that? Stablecoins, we've talked about it. How much dominance Ethereum has with how many stablecoins are within the Ethereum ecosystem. Now, if Bitcoin has a little bit of a dip here and Ethereum holds strong and then starts to move up out of this, this will be a real signal that there's a little bit of a pivot of what people are considering about risk narrative in the alt market. Not every altcoin is going to move in this alt season. There's a lot more institutional, big money, smart, cultured players that are looking at real data points within the different investments in the digital asset space. So take some flyers, trade some memes, find that macro cap. Oh, I love this PFP. Cool. That's fine. But I'm telling you right now, more likely than not, it's going to be some of these major players that we're seeing in the space. The infrastructure of the new world, which is Ethereum, XRP, whether you like it or hate it. Tether, of course, this isn't going to make you money, but this is, within the ETH ecosystem. BNB, Solana, Dogecoin, the #1 meme coin out there. It's not an infrastructure play, but as new retail comes in, this will likely perform quite well. Tron, it's basically like the Ethereum of the other half of the world, Tron and BNB. Cardano will likely do very well, especially with a lot of their recent developments and what the integrations with Bitcoin and what they're doing, starting to deploy their contracts soon and everything that's going on in their ecosystem. I expect Cardano to do very well. Hyperliquid, it's kind of instituted itself as a mainstay. XLM, SUI, Chainlink, a lot of these top plays in the top 50 are going to be doing very well. BitTensor, it's my pick for top AI play because it's an AI ecosystem. It's an AI infrastructure development and basically entire market with subnets and basically kind of like, think of like layer twos on Ethereum. Those are subnets on BitTensor with different AI ecosystems, sub ecosystems within the BitTensor ecosystem. Then we got Kronos, of course, CryptoCro, Aptos, Near. I think a lot, guys, we're going to see some monster gains coming here in the very near future. So let's get back over here. Solana. Okay, we gotta clean this up a little bit because we were chopping this around the other day. Delete that, delete this line, delete this. It's all good. There we go. So this is kind of holding here, but this does look like a double top. This is flirting with breaking down. Is it the end of the world? No, because it's very bullishly could it have a pullback all the way down here to 150, even the one upper 140s. But in this zone would be a great area if this does pull back for a buy. Now, why is that? Because when price action breaks out of a resistance line, it is not unheard of. In fact, it's more often than not, you see a revisit to the scene of the crime. This is a crime. This is basically breaking through this resistance. Having the price action come back and test somewhere in this zone would be still overwhelmingly in bullish structure. If Solana does hold up here, and this is just a bit of a fake out, and this is able to push up in here, hold, and break out, again, I'm just re-saying it for the 47th time. We're watching this 140, 177, 175 range because it is a multi-year trend line that comes back to 2021. That is, see this line coming all the way across? That is the zone. So when this breaks out of this may get a bit of a retrace. This may also immediately teleport right up to 225, 224. Because it's such a major area. You see it rejected there, rejected there, rejected there, rejected there, broke through support, and then fell through and then rejected. This may reject again. This may teleport through, but that's just a key level to be watching. We see the big move down here on the money flow. Now a much smaller move. This is looking like it's trying to get ready to make that move to the upside. BitTensor Tau. Also, we talked about this, a move to the outside, right into the zone. If this did swing back down into this zone, that wouldn't be unheard of. But if this does break free, we're watching for a break of 491 before it makes its legs up to the next level, which would be about right here. Now, why right here? Because I looked at the crosshairs that go across my screen to see where has the most support and resistances. Resistance, resistance, support, resistance, support. So this is a level we're watching. Once it breaks up into 489, 490, the next target up here is 575. The next target is 741. And remember, BitTensor only has 21 million tokens, just like Bitcoin. So you come down here to BitTensor. Where is it at? TAO, BitTensor right here. BitTensor's got incredible tokenomics and the right type of team behind it. 21 million total supply with a similar structure as it moves out of how, the proof of work within their ecosystem allows, the new tokens to be, it's called emission, coming out. But I think this is going to do extraordinarily well with people like Barry Silbert and Chamath Palihapitiya and David Sachs has talked about it. He's the crypto AI and crypto czar. This has all the right players involved, and it has incredibly low price comparatively to the max supply. It's not like Dogecoin or these other, even Cardano. Cardano has got 39 billion tokens. And again, that's no hate on the project. It's just when people get lost looking at the prices here and they're not looking at this price in relationship to the circulating supply. Like for instance, why is Pepe 0.000000124 cents? You realize how small that is? Well, look at the total supply. 420 trillion. There's 420 trillion Pepe. That's why it's crypto market cap is, the coin market cap ranking is 28. It's got $5 billion. But the price is 0.000. But what if I buy this and it goes to the price of Bitcoin? It won't. It won't. You will learn to fly into another universe before this hits the price of Bitcoin. Because look at the total amount of circulating supply. Then you got bittensor. You got bittensor, 21 million. Okay, where is it at? Boom, right here. Circulating supply currently is only 9 million, but the max supply is going to be 21 million. Then you got, look at this, Pi, 7.69 billion. Crow, 31 billion. Now we come up here to the top of the list. Solana's got 536 million. Okay, a little more respectable. Cool. We got BNB, 139 million. XRP, 59 billion. So when you're looking at the prices, this is why I so regularly say the price doesn't matter unless you understand the data that it is relative to. Don't be like, I'm not going to buy Ethereum because it's $3,000. I'm going to get XRP because it's only $289. You sound like a dumb jackass if that's your argument. You do not understand this market. I'm here to help you navigate this. You need to understand these columns when you're looking at this, what the price is, what the market cap is, the daily trading volume. That shows you how much activity and interest is in this comparatively with other assets. And of course, the circulating supply of the asset. We're getting to that prime time right now where market's about to get very excited. People are going to make some stupid decisions based on the price of an asset when you're not understanding how that's relative to the other data. And you might make a bad decision. I want you guys to make smart decisions in this market because we're about to see some monster moves. Let's come over here and look at chainlink. As I was talking before about that monster move setting up, this is that massive symmetrical triangle. Look at this massive. This is 2020. This is 2021. This is 2023. This is 2024. This is 24. The end of 24, we had this, fake out, but it came right back down in. And look at this. It's beautiful W formation. It's coming right here, descending level of resistance, horizontal major level of resistance right here. The money flow is arcing back to the upside. The RSI is now not making new lows. It's looking like it's attacking the upside to be above that 50% on the daily. It is. I think Chainlink is going to have such a monster move. Then we come over here and look at some other things. Arbitrum, which we haven't looked at lately, just had some big news with Robinhood and the chain that they're launching going to be through Arbitrum. Nice, beautiful W formation here. We have a descending broadening wedge. It has broken out. It's kind of coiling right now, and it might be a bull flag. This may come back down and revisit about 38 cents. But I do think that this is going to start making some strides higher. We want to see it get above 46 cents, and then in the next move is going to be up here into the 70s. Injective also, it's being held at bay by this key level of support, resistance. This is that level. This is already broken out. Injective, you see this right here? This is already broken out, much like we saw on Arbitrum. Broke out, looks exactly the same. Money flow is still negative, but the RSI strength is looking good. If this gets a quick move to the downside, I'd be a buyer here. About 11.49. But if this is able to continue pushing up, this is a zone we want to clear, 14 to 15 bucks. And then our next target is going to be, it'll stair step up, but we're going to be looking at 1860, all of this chop that's in here in support, and then testing up here into the $25 range. Guys, the market is heating up. The excitement is here. Make sure you're using your excitement to make smart moves, to make calculated moves, to look at moves setting up for pullbacks that are healthy, that you can buy the dip of. That is how you dominate here versus it moved. Now what do I do? Then you're making emotional decisions. Guys, I want you guys to win so bad. I love you. I appreciate you. Kelly, always in the zone. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that is in the room. Let's see if we got any super chats. No super chats today. Okay. Big love to each and every one of you. Great watch time today, man. People were engaged. If you had to pick one coin to buy next, I want to see in the live chat right now, what would be that coin that you want to buy next? Whether it's adding to a position you already have, or this is the thing I want to buy. Let's see what people have got their eyes on right in here. Hit the like, for Kelly, honestly, that he's all Kelly's honesty that he's dropping. Well, shout out to you, Granny's Garden. Big ouch, Dave Middleton. I don't know if that zoomed back or what. Yeah, but big love to each and every one of you guys. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna shoot you over to the blockchain basement. Now I'm gonna go run my dog who's sleeping right over here. But I love you. It's about to get exciting. It's about to get spicy. Adios.